I have made a lot of mistakes in stacking silver over the years, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about some of those mistakes that I had made so that maybe it keeps you from making those same mistakes. Or who knows, maybe you don't think what I did was a mistake. I don't know. I'd love to hear with your comments down below. But I will say that most of my mistakes don't necessarily come from silver stacking, if you will. Silver stacking, but they actually come from the collecting side of the hobby, which is why I have this 1986 through 2021 Type 1 Silver Eagle set out in front of me. And no, I'm not saying that this set was a mistake, but a lot of it comes from the collecting side of the hobby. And I'm going to show you some really crazy stuff, like what's in this pouch right here and what I got in this mystery pack last week as well. And we're going to talk about why some of those mistakes are easy to fall for and they can cost you a lot of money. So let's do it. But before we do me a favor, go down below and make sure you're subscribed and also hit that like button to help YouTube recommend this video to others. My channel is sponsored by SDBullion.com. New customers can get their first order of gold or silver at spot by going to SDBullion.com/new. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is avoiding gimmicks. Now, I think a lot of people that watch this channel would never fall for something like this, but I've seen so many different things like this. This, as you can see, says 1921 historic US silver dollars, 1.5 troy ounces of silver. They put it into this huge brick. And just to give you an example, here is a kilo silver bar next to this thing. Look at the size difference, right? So if this were a real silver bar, this would be like a 100-ounce silver bar. They made it huge, open it up, and all we have inside is a bunch of foam and two heavily circulated 1921 Morgan silver dollars. These look like they've been cleaned. All right, maybe heavily circulated is not the correct term because they're not heavily circulated, but they are definitely cleaned. And so these right here, cleaned 1921 super common date silver dollars, we all know these are worth $25, $30 tops, right? Yet when you see them in packages like this, brand new, you're going to pay $100 or $150 for something like this. Why? You're paying a bunch of money for some cardboard? To be honest with you, I should take these out of this, throw the cardboard away, and maybe keep the capsules because it's a capsule. But yeah, you're throwing away a lot of money just by doing, buying stupid stuff like this. So whenever you see something like this, whenever they do this historic US silver dollars, they even put the weight on here, you should probably know that there's a reason that they're dialing up the dollars because otherwise they're not going to get near as much for them without, some special packaging. Now, another thing then, and this is a mistake that I made. I did not, by the way, I bought those for silver dollar value. I did not buy or pay any extra for this. The person who I bought this from paid extra for that. But a mistake that I made that cost me $1,000 is not taking advantage of a very, very, very hot market. And let me show you what I mean. Inside of this box is my 2019 S reverse proof enhanced Silver Eagle, NGC certified, PF70, COA number on the slab. I bought this brand new from the US Mint. When I got it, I sent it off sealed to NGC to get certified. NGC came back as a reverse proof 70. I was stoked. When I got this coin back, it was selling on eBay. There were sold listings. We're not saying people were asking. It was actually selling for over $3,000. Some listings up to $3,500. Today, this coin sells for around $2,000. Same grade, everything with the COA. So I knew that the market was really hot on these. I knew people were excited about them. This is the lowest mintage Silver Eagle in existence. If you're going to put a set together and you want it to be complete, you need the Silver Eagle. I slabbed the COA. I had it all done, the whole kit and caboodle. And I did not take advantage of the hot market and sell this. I should have put it on eBay immediately and took my $3,500 and ran because I could have taken that money even after eBay fees. If I paid eBay $400, I'm still at $3,100. Now today I could go back out and buy this for $2,000 and I pocketed $1,100 difference. My mistake was not taking advantage of a hot market to sell a collectible just because I fell in love with it. Why didn't I sell this coin then? Well, because even today I'm still in love with this coin, but I knew from the bottom of my heart that this was going to go down a little bit. I didn't think it was going to go down to 500 or 1,000, but I knew it was going to go below 3,500, and so I should have sold it while I could. And my mistake was falling in love with the coin so much that I didn't take advantage of something that I knew I could have, which was to sell it when the market was iron striking hot for these things. I mean, holy smokes, people were excited about those. I should have threw it on eBay right away. So I cost myself a lot of money there. Now, another thing that could cost you some money, and I talked about this in the short, I've shown this coin off, as you guys know, in a couple of videos already, is buying the holder instead of the coin. So this is slabbed as an MS-70. First day of production. It is signed by managing director Tumi Taselo. It's got milk spots on it. When I showed this to Keith from the Coin Crew, he said he wouldn't pay more for this than he would a regular sovereign coin. So $1 or $2 over spot. These go for $40 to $50 and up, just as an MS-70. However, this one, you're not going to get anywhere near that for. So if you go out and you pay more for this label, if you just buy the label, right? You're paying more for the label, you're paying more for the slab, you're never going to be able to resell it and make any of your money back. I would have never paid more than a couple of dollars over spot for this coin, no matter what that label is. And the mistake that you can make is buying the label, buying the holder, as they say, instead of the coin. Always, no matter if it's certified by NGC or PCGS or whoever, always look closely at the coin and make sure you're buying the coin itself. The label is always going to be secondary. And then another mistake you can make is actually in this pouch right here. And I know I kind of made a little teaser about this at the beginning of the video, but this is a Proof 69. Oh boy, look at that milking. I mean, it's like you're pouring milk down the side of the coin. This is a Proof 69 South African Cougaran Proof. So beautiful Proof Cougaran. These look really nice in Proof outside of that milking. The mistake that was made on these is when these came out, there was a ton of hype around them and people were paying way too much money for them. I did not pay this number. I'm going to actually hide it for a second. Yeah, look at that. Here's the reverse of the coin. So this, oh, you kind of saw a hint of it. How much do you think that the original buyer, not me, but the original person that bought this coin paid for it? Well, since you kind of already saw this a little bit, here we go. Look at this. February 21st of 19, $695. This thing was labeled for $695. Now you can find these on eBay today for around $100, slabbed with the same grade and not milking. So I did not buy this for that. If you want to know, I paid $50 for this coin. And the only reason I paid $50 for it is because I was not going to buy it for more than that with all of the milking on it. I knew it was a $100 coin. I'm like, I'll pay $50. I got it for $50. But he literally said he paid sticker price for it. I cannot believe that you would even sell this. You know, at this point, when you buy something for $695 and then just a few years later, I mean, 2019, my goodness, just a few years later, you're going to take a bath on it for like, what, 90% of its value? Why? Why even sell it? I would have just kept this and hung my head down in shame and called it as a wash and been like, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he has the receipt from when he purchased it. He's going to write off the difference on his taxes. I don't know. But yeah, this was a major loss for him. And to be honest with you, I probably shouldn't have even paid $50 for this. I don't think I'd be able to sell this for $50 with that milking. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a proof, right? So the beauty of this proof is that it's proof. But when you look here and you see this milking is so much worse on a proof than it is just a regular BU coin, because this isn't supposed to have that beautiful mirror finish. This is, and that's being taken away because of that. So that was a major mistake. And I believe that he probably paid that because he got drawn into the hype of this beautiful proof collector Cougaran. And unfortunately, yeah, and this one is authentic hand signed. One of the first 300. So this was actually certified as one of the first 389 coins struck. So maybe that's why he paid so much for it. But that is another major mistake, is not just not taking advantage of a hot market like I did, or like I didn't do with this coin, but also getting drawn into a really exciting and hot market. And a really good example of that, and then we'll cut this video off here, is these. And the problem with these isn't necessarily like the value of these. Like what the Mint sold these for versus what they're selling for even today on eBay is actually pretty close. I have two issues with these. And the first thing I'll say is the first issue comes with the Mint. These were originally supposed to be a commemorative for the 100-year crossover of the 1921 Morgan to the 1921 Peace Dollar. You know, right here, that's why they have the Peace Dollar as well, right? The Morgan to the Peace Dollar in 21. Well, now you have them coming out in different forms with proofs and reverse proofs in 22 and 23. And for me, that really killed the awesomeness of the set. Having this commemorative crossover year, a one more last hurrah for the Morgan Silver Dollar was awesome. But then it just becomes a money grab by releasing as many versions of it as possible so that the US Mint can sell the silver for, you know, way more than it's worth, right? Which is, you know, what a lot of collectibles are. But the other issue is, this is where the mistake comes in for a lot of people, isn't really the collectability of this, but it goes back into buying into the hype. And what happened with these is after they came out, the mint sold out dang near immediately. So those people that weren't able to buy them from the mint, they went and bought them elsewhere. They got them on eBay. They got them from coin shops. They got them at coin shows and other places online, and they paid way more for them than the mint was selling them for. Well, fast forward just a couple of years, and now you can buy these on eBay for not quite as cheap as you could have got them for straight from the mint, but definitely way less than what they were selling for when the hype was really, really hot about these, right? So people were paying $250, $300 for like the San Francisco and the Philly. I saw Carson City selling for $500 and up. Well, they don't sell for that today. And so this is one more example of where the hype really got to people. They paid way too much for them. And now the people sitting on these that bought into them, for those, inflated numbers, unfortunately, they're not going to get their money back out of them now. Now, it's fine, and keep this in mind. I want to be very clear. It's totally fine if your intent was never to resell them and you just wanted to add them to your collection and you don't care necessarily what you paid for them. But if that was your goal, going and buying them third party right after they sold out from the mint was not the right thing to do. What you really should have done was waited a year or two till the hype died down, and then you could have bought them a lot cheaper and still had them for your collection. At least that's how I look at it, and that's the mistake, that we're talking about here, is getting drawn into the hype and ending up paying more than you needed to for something that you could have just bought a little bit later for quite a bit cheaper, and then using that money to have instead bought pure silver, like this beautiful silver bar. But that's all my opinion. Guys, do me a favor and let me know what you think. Have you made mistakes like this? Do you think these were mistakes? Am I wrong? I would love to know your thoughts. So leave it in a comment down below. I'll do my best to read them all. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and we'll see you in the next video.